Have you ever given any thought to plot twists? I hadn't, but recently I had a comment or a couple of comments on my subplot video asking for my ideas and interpretations about plot twist and plot surprises. So today we're going to have a little chat about that. It won't be very long because as a pantser, I don't tend to do that very often, but let's give it a go. A plot twist, of course, is something that happens usually towards the end of one of the climatic areas of your story, usually towards the end, where a plot twist turns everything the reader thinks they know from the rest of the story, turns it on its head. There it is as a plot twist. A plot twist is generally seen as something that a reader never saw coming. Now, as a pantser, I don't use plot twists very often. However, I do occasionally use plot surprises. Now, one of these things that I can remember doing, and it's the most classic case I can think of, is that I was struggling with one of my books early in my writing career, whereby I had two characters who, despite being fated and despite living together and everything else, due to various histories and everything else like that, they would not say, "I love you." And in a romance, I see that as something that needs to be done. And so what happened was I was getting really, really frustrated. I had written to this point like 90,000 words or something. It was one of the longest books in that series. And I just could not get them. I could not think how to get them together. Now, there was another plot obviously going on through the story. You know, I had my regulatory bad guys and things like that, but I could not work it out. And then a friend of mine, who is also an author, said to me, "You need to pull out a gun." And I think I've told the story a couple of times before, but I was like, these are wolf shifters. What are they getting? You know, they've got no use for guns. But the idea was that if in doubt, if I couldn't move my story forward, then I had to do something different. So I had the bad guy sneak onto Packlands and shoot the alpha mate in the head. He didn't die. My characters don't die like that. But that was the surprise. Nobody saw it coming. And because of that shot, the other alpha idiot who had been dragging his feet through the whole story, of course, you know, finally realizes, shit, I could lose this guy, and gets his crap together. Awesome. That's what was needed. And that brings me to the first point I want to make about plot twists. They have to have a reason. If they're just there for shock horror value and they don't push the plot forward, then they're not plot twists. They're plot devices, and they're quite useless in that respect. Now, a second thing I do need to note, whether you're a plotter or a pantser, you need to have whatever comes as your plot twist or surprise in your plot needs to be seeded somewhere in the preceding text. I have seen so many really good books fall down because they've got the thing and they've done all this, you know, particularly in thrillers and all that sort of thing, you know, and there's all these twists and turns and everything else and what have you. And the readers kept occupied trying to work out who's the bad guy, you know, which is the whole point. And then the author introduces a brand new character at the climatic end of the story as being the person who's behind it, who's been behind everything. that is often considered a plot twist, but it is actually a really, really poor way of doing a plot twist. If there was no, it's like bringing in, actually, most of my watchers are probably too young to remember this, but back in the day, I think it was Dallas, was it the program Dallas, the long-running afternoon soap Dallas, where the brother guy gets shot or what have you, and there's all this sort of carry on that goes on about it, and then it turns out it was a dream because they wanted to bring him back. Was that Bobby? I can't remember. It was a very, very, very long time ago. But the dream sequence thing, it turned out it was all a dream, and that was supposed to be the plot twist. So many people were up in arms about that, because what you're doing when you put in that sort of plot device is you're actually just manipulating your watchers or your readers or whatever else. To do an effective plot twist, it has to be plausible. So say, for example, everybody, your readers thought, the XYZ, say that John, so we'll say John is the bad guy, okay? And so if John is the bad guy, and the readers have kind of got hints about that through the book, blah, 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 blah. And then the big climax scene happens, and it turns out it wasn't John at all. It was John's twin brother, Rex, who has not been mentioned in the entire book, that there's no Rex ever been mentioned, no mention that John even has a brother in the whole book. Suddenly turns out, and it was him. That is what is often perceived as a plot twist, but it isn't, because the whole point of a plot twist is that there needs to be some sort of seed or a crumb somewhere through the story where the reader can dismiss that particular character for whatever reason, or maybe that, maybe Rex has an alibi or whatever, but to not mention him at all and just bring him up in the climax is totally wrong. And I really wanted to make that point about plot twists and surprises. So you need to seed what it is. I get a lot of my ideas about plot because, as I say, I'm a pantser. So what I will often do is I will just keep writing, and I keep writing, and I keep writing. And I find with pantsing that quite often I will get a plot twist, or I will get a surprise that is as much a surprise to me as it will be to the readers, purely because I'm stuck, because I've gotten stuck in the story, or I've written myself in such a convoluted fashion that I'm actually backing myself into a corner, and I need something unusual to happen or different to happen to get me out of that situation, or to get my characters out of that situation. And that is where you could bring in a plot surprise. But then again, it still needs to have something. If it's an extra person, for example, it has to be somebody casually mentioned in the first couple of chapters, or whatever. It needs to be seeded. I can't just drag in a new person, just walks in onto the page, saves the day, whatever, or turns out to be the bad guy, whatever. You cannot do that if you haven't seeded that person's existence before. Or maybe your character develops a new power or a new thing. You can't do it if you haven't seeded the possibility that that could happen earlier in the story. So I know I'm repeating myself here, but it bears repeating. There's no surprise in that aspect. You might only need a sentence or two in an earlier chapter or something like that, but you cannot bring new people in, especially towards the end of a story, and have that suddenly magically make everything right. That is doing a real disservice to the author, to your readers rather. So I would strongly recommend that you don't do that. Now, I'm not strictly sure what's mentioned as a surprise, as a plot surprise, because I think a lot of us do that anyway. When we are writing and generating our story, whether we're planting or plotting, we still do want to bring up different things. You don't normally have just one major climax point at the end of the story. You quite often have little smaller climaxes at a story. And this is where you could do a twist, where you could throw in a surprise. And that could be a new artifact, a new power, a new character. But you don't bring that in at the end. For example, if at the end you're having this great magical conundrum thing going on, and all of a sudden one of your main characters suddenly develops this power and manages to obliterate everybody, or whatever it is you're doing. I'm being very general here, but you get the idea. You cannot give him that power or the realization he can access that power unless it was seeded he already had it earlier in the piece. Even the possibility of him already having it earlier on in the piece will work, but the reader needs to think. He doesn't want to get to that point and think, well, where did that come from? I thought he had this, and this power. And now all of a sudden he's done this. And I do see that in fantasy stories sometimes, fantasy stories in particular, obviously, because a lot of them are magic. But where they can't find another way out of the situation their characters are in, so they just slap on another power. And then they justify it afterwards. But if it hasn't been seeded before, it's not going to work. So what do you think? I realize I haven't said a lot, but it's because it's not a topic that I am very familiar with. I have a pretty good idea of what I'm doing as I'm writing my story. And as I say, I sometimes introduce new characters or new plot devices or what have you, particularly if I'm stuck in that soggy middle. When I was talking to you in that previous video, I'll try and think to remember to link it up here, about subplots. That is when I'll introduce a subplot, but that could be a plot twist. That could be a surprise. And that surprise could be the introduction of a new character, of a new artifact, of a new piece of evidence, or a new piece of whatever, depending on your genre. And that is why this is quite difficult to talk about, because everybody's genre, we all write across a wide variety of different genres. And in the sort of fated mates and love stories that I write, those sorts of things aren't usually necessary. But yes, if you're going to introduce your one of your characters to having a brand new power, do not let him have it at the end of the story, but maybe introduce the idea of it a lot sooner. And that's really all I can say about that. If you have specific questions about plots, about plotting, or anything else like that, then please feel free to add them in the comments below, and I will do my best to address them. I am always the first to say, if I don't know, I will tell you. And this is all I know about plot twists and surprises. And that one piece of information I'd been given so long ago about making sure whatever happens at the end of your story has already been seeded somewhere during the story, so that your readers don't feel like they've been blindsided. They instead get that, because they realize they missed the seed that you had put earlier in the story. That, to me, is the best way of doing a plot twist. But anyway, add your comments down below, because I know that a lot of our viewers here do get a lot of value out of reading other people's comments. So please let me know what you think down below and whether or not you've got anything else to add. In the meantime, I post long form contents on Mondays and Thursdays, and on Saturdays I do read-alongs with the author. At the moment, I think we're still reading A Marriage of Necessity, but I was basically doing that to increase my watch time on YouTube, because it's not easy getting 3,000 watch hours in a space of 365 days. So I'm working on it. But if you want to help out, you can always throw one of my playlists on in the background while you're doing your chores or anything else. And I know that always helps with the watch time too. But in the meantime, any questions, pop them below. And how's your writing going? If you don't know a lot about plots or subplots or anything else, and if you're a bit like me and you just write your stories, then tell me how your story's getting on in the comments below, because I'd love to read about that too. I answer every comment that's written. I truly appreciate you, for those of you who do take your time to leave me a comment. That's always so much fun to hear how you're getting on in your writer's day. So until next time, my friend, remember that writing is meant to be fun. We're meant to be having fun with it. And yeah, until next week or until next time, we'll see you then. Bye.